I'd go back to Göbekli.
I want to go back to
Göbekli Tepe.
I want to go back to when they built some of those things.
Yeah.
I think I want to go forward to know what.
Nah, fuck forward. I know where we're going.
Dystopian.
Self-destruction.
Then you know like what's going to happen.
You don't need to know.
I feel like the curiosity of how we built those structures is... Because like the fort, I just feel like I'd love to know how the fuck they built those things.
Yeah.
The pyramids.
I'm with Charles. Charles and I are jumping in the same fucking era.
The Acropolis.
But then what
Göbekli
year do you go
Tepe.
to?
Oh, I don't know.
Depends who you ask. If you ask,
'Cause
what's his name? You have to go back 13,000 years. 1300, 13,000.
Yeah.
What's his
Maybe
name?
we're going to start right here. Hang on. So we'll include that 1 minute there. Shout out Jeremy J Hole, the spiritual leader of everything here.
It's competing on Saturday.
Is he?
Yeah, ESS. Yeah.
ESS.
comp.
We had a question box and he put a question in there. Would you rather go forward or backwards in a time machine? And
Yep.
I think James is saying back.
I want to go forward.
How far forward?
Answer your question. Why? Why forwards?
I would like to know where we end up. I think.
So can I just put some parameters on this question? Are we going back to one specific time point?
No, I reckon you get a 100-year range.
100-year range.
And you just observe from the top. Like you're not on the ground, you're just observing.
You're just on the
you can
wall.
fast
Fly on the
forward.
wall.
You can fast forward, scroll back.
I think, yeah.
What year are you going to? What century?
If Click the movie by Adam Sandler is anything to go by, I think I would want to know like where my lineage ends up, where my the George name ends up.
So where James George VIII is.
Yeah, I want to know like.
How far
So what? You're going 200 years ahead?
205.
Oh, you said 100.
No, you get
No, you can go
100
whatever you
year.
want.
You get 100. So you can go to like 2,400 to 2,500, something like that.
Okay, yeah, I'd want to go like. Nah, I think I would want to go maybe max 200 years.
200 years.
Can't go
old.
too
I don't
far in
wanna
the
go too
future
far,
because you might
'cause
go
then-
too far and then there's nothing there. And
Yeah,
then you get there
exactly.
and fucking
It's all just
cut
black. yeah.
And you just want to see where
Your family
lineage
goes.
I want to know where my family end up. Like, do we become like
Kings.
Is it like do we become kings,
Do we
queens?
become
Like,
rulers?
Does it like how things kind of go in rotation and they come back in trend? Like, do we go back to like a medieval like monarchy situation?
What the fuck?
Are you hoping that you'll be at the top?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't
reckon
go.
that's what you do?
You don't go forward in time hoping that things are worse.
No,
You
but
hope that
so
things
you
are better.
reckon? So for you, better is ruling the world.
Better is ruling the world.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we could comprehend what 200 years, like the rate
Yeah,
that
no
it,
way.
like just think back 100 years ago, like
Think back even 50 years.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's just nuts.
it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So James George going forward. Me and Charles, where are we headed, Charles? What year are we going to pick?
The issue is that
No one knows when they were built. When were the pyramids built?
well, that's the issue because you go back 3,000 or whatever it is.
I'm going back 16,000. What's the end of the Younger Dryas?
I think it's like 11,700 years ago.
It's such a big time.
I'm going to that.
All these historical points, they're like
They're vague.
they're vague.
ranges.
It's like a 500,000, 2,000 year like timestamp, so we could miss it. And then we could just be.
But we
looking at-
could also land on it, Charles.
You could. It's a gamble
Yeah.
because if you go back, so when were the pyramids built? Was it like supposedly 4,000 years ago? If you go back 4,000,
I don't think so, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Look, if we go by the established, theory on that, if you go back 4,100 years ago and there's no pyramids, well, then you know the Egyptians built it. But if you go back and they're already there pre-Egypt, then you know they've been there longer.
Yeah.
That's a gamble you take. But then with this whole idea, it's you only get one go. You can't just
You get one
zigzag
100
over.
Only
year.
one go.
Yeah, you only get
Yeah,
one
you can't
100-year
fly.
block.
Pick
Yeah.
every century. Like there's got to be something.
Because at the end of the new Indiana Jones, he goes back to ancient Greece. Have you seen that?
No.
And it's
No.
cool. It's like depicts ancient, and he meets one of the ancient philosophers. I can't remember specifically who it was. If it was
Socrates.
Archimedes or something.
Socrates.
It might have been Archimedes. He meets him, and the way they depict it was cool. I was like, oh, it's cool. Like the way that it's just.
What year was that?
It was a couple thousand years ago. I can't remember
Or
specifically.
like, yeah. Oh, I'm going to be more than.
Maybe more, 3,000. I can't remember specifically, but it was like, yeah.
What if you just go back like 30,000? Just see what's going on.
Neanderthals.
Yeah,
Is that the Neanderthal time? I don't even know.
Yeah, that'd be
know.
hunter-gatherer.
Hunter-gatherer?
Or our current understanding, it would be
Mesolithic?
hunter-gatherer.
I'm just throwing
Yeah.
words out. I don't know what it is.
Megalithic.
Am I
don't know
wrong
what
in
these words
Megalithic
mean.
structures.
Am I wrong in saying that apparently these genes of like Neanderthals are coming back in people recently? Like I think I've squeezed by that.
They're coming back.
Yeah, they're finding it like little strands of these
It's got to be in there
genes.
somewhere.
Well, it's been gone for how long?
I don't
Yeah,
think-
I thought
I don't
it
think
was gone.
I think it was they're just rediscovering it. It wouldn't have been gone.
Well, not completely, but like
It was more sparse.
a very small amount of population.
The current human genome has Neanderthal genes.
Yeah.
Like they would have a small percentage of it.
Yeah. Not sure.
Things come back.
Things come back.
Things
the
come
monarch's
back.
coming back.
Right. James George
Monarch's coming back.
King James.
King James. Yeah. And Dids, when are you going?
Yeah, look, it's got to be back.
Dids just going back to the 80s.
That's all. Nah, Woodstock.
Woodstock.
I gotta go back further than that. It would have to be.
70s.
Actually, Woodstock is something I would love to go
Nah,
back to.
jokes aside, I would. There's way better things to go to than Woodstock. It's
Yeah, but Woodstock's
Woodstock's
it's
mad,
guaranteed. You're going to land on the right
That's
day.
the thing. If it's documented and
The
you believe
pyramids-
the books, then you know that Woodstock happened the summer of '69. So you rock up there, you're not going to be let down. But no, I'd go further back.
Another thing I'd like to go back to is the last shootout at Glenrowan, Ned Kelly. I'd love to watch that.
To be there,
Fly on the wall.
I'd fucking take out some of those cops, save our mans.
I'd love to look at that. I was actually surprised when we were in Vietnam when we did the Hajang Loop. We were the only two Australians, and no one knew who Ned Kelly was. We were just talking about shit from
He's
our country.
a hometown hero, man.
And I was like, fuck, he is actually a hometown hero. No one knew who he was at all.
How did Ned Kelly come up on the conversation?
Because just talking about shit like there was a lot of British people, so they'd be talking about Robin Hood and Winston Churchill, just his historical figures. Actually, I think it was because we were talking about the most famous people from our countries.
And you thought it would be Ned Kelly?
No, I just
he was up
I
there.
didn't think he'd be Ned Kelly. It was Steve Irwin, Kylie Minogue, Shane Warne.
But I think Shane Warne to British people, Americans would have no idea who Shane Warne is.
I think
Steve Irwin would be number one.
You got to remember though, Shane Warne would be massive in India, and India's 1 billion people.
That's true.
He'd be like a god in India.
You're not wrong. There's a lot of people who know who Shane Warne is.
America is.
I reckon he'd be a top 5 for sure.
He's in there. And it was Kylie Minogue and Steve Irwin was a big one. There was a fourth. We had a fourth for Australia. But I can't remember who it was.
What about AC/DC? In excess.
I can't remember who it was.
I think it would be Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin would be number 1.
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie would be up there.
No,
she's pretty popular.
Absolutely famous Australian ever. Most famous.
She's pretty famous. She's up there.
What's his
I reckon
name?
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin.
I think
Russell
Steve
Crowe.
Irwin's. I think Steve Irwin's
He'd be
number
up
1,
there.
but she's in the conversation for sure.
Yeah, I think Steve Irwin.
It's funny though because when you were going through the other countries, it was like a political figure or like someone like that. Whereas like Australia, it was just like movie stars, sports players, and like TV personalities because we obviously don't really have that much of a history.
Yeah, we don't have a huge impact on global sort of
Because like
stuff.
England was like Winston Churchill, like a huge political figure.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's how Ned Kelly came up because I was just like, I just brought and just no one knew who he was. And I thought maybe because of the Heath Ledger movie that people would know who he is.
Didn't even know there was a movie.
Well, there you go. See, I've even seen
Heath Ledger
that
played
goes to
Ned
show.
Kelly.
Isn't
Orlando Bloom and
Now that
Jeffrey
you
Rush.
mentioned it, I know it's a thing, but I've never seen that.
It's an all-star lineup.
That movie G's you up. Like
Oh, really?
I would want to be there in the final.
James
shootout.
George is going back.
Yeah.
He's just changes.
That's a good one. I like that
1870, whatever it was. Yeah.
I just because he's at that point where there was photos taken of Ned Kelly. They're obviously black and white. There's a mold of his face. There's enough little bits of pieces, but it'd be cool to see what actually happened because apparently, whether he was depicted as how he's depicted as a hero or is he actually a villain.
Yeah, I think it's from historians. I think it's very split on how they view it.
But I just thought people would know because Orlando Bloom's in it, Heath Ledger and Jeffrey Rush. It's like a big lineup of actors.
Jeffrey, he would be a huge Aussie star as well.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah.
Is he Australian?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Rush is Australian.
He's Aussie, bro. Yeah.
I think we need to get
Barbosa.
Baz Luhrmann in this top 5, top 7.
Captain Barbosa.
Yeah, he's
is
Australian.
He's Aussie, bro.
He was on an episode of Kath and Kim, just like they had him as he just
Man,
cameoed.
I thought he was American or British.
100%. Huh? What's that?
I thought he was American or British.
No, he's Australian.
Nah.
Jeffrey Rush.
Captain
He's just
Barbosa.
that good of an actor. Yeah.
Correct. You don't see him as an Australian actor. You just see him as an actor.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Shouts
yeah.
out. No, we
Shouts out
we've
Australia.
got some good actors for a smaller country.
Yeah.
Aussie.
Yeah, that's Ned Kelly.
Fair. All right.
No one knew who Ned Kelly was.
So no one knew. So how was the trip, Charles?
Yeah, it was very good. Very, very good.
Highlight was the trip.
The Hajang Loop was the highlight. Jack and Zoe both did it last year. It was actually Sam Goldsmith a few months ago that said they regretted not doing it. He's like, do it. Because we originally were going to do the Halong Bay cruise, but glad we didn't do that in the end because the boat, I don't know if you saw, the boat capsized and 34 people died.
I did hear about this.
They were Vietnamese people, mostly from Ho Chi Minh City. So I don't know if we had booked that, I don't know if we would be comfortable going on that a week later. So, it ends up doing the Hajang Loop off a few people's recommendations. Bit more, from my understanding, is a lot more the people we were with had really looked forward to it in the sense that they knew more about it, whereas I think Deuce and I were a little bit more just going in
just
with
open-ended,
just didn't really fully know what to expect.
So what did a day look like? How was it structured?
I'll go through the second day. The second day, because that was a full day. Because the first day you started, basically you do it. It was about 350 k's around the mountains in Vietnam, and you go right up one of the viewpoints. You actually see the border of China.
Oh wow!
Which was cool. Basically, get up in the morning. They'd tell you. Morning breakfast is 8 a.m. We're on the bikes by 8:30 or 9 or whatever it is, and then once you're on the bike, you just go. They just drive. You have no idea where you're going, and it's just a lot of viewpoint stops along the way to break up the ride. Throughout the day, there'd probably be 2 main activities. One, the first day was a hike up to a cave, and then you go in the cave.
Oh, nice.
And swim in a pool, and then there might be we went to this massive lookout where you climb up. Then along the day, there's just a lot of stops. So you might ride for 30, 40 minutes on the bike, stop at a viewpoint. Each viewpoint just had a little shack that they sell drinks and coffee and all that stuff at. And then obviously stop for lunch. And lunch would be a big hour break. You sit down, whether it was at a restaurant or a couple of days were at a restaurant, a couple of days were just at the hostel place. And then, obviously they've got a few hostel locations throughout the loop where you stay at. So that was basically how the day would run. The biggest day of riding was the second day, which was from 8 a.m. We're on the bikes. We didn't get back till 6 p.m. The other days we sort of finished up around 4-ish, which was a bit earlier. And then the highlight was the last full day where we went to a waterfall and you could jump off into the waterfall.
Oh, wow.
Fucking scary.
How big's the waterfall?
Oh, it probably was. Well, there was different levels. There was a lower one, which probably was 4 or 5 meters, and there was one that was 7, 8 meters, and there was a bigger one. I did the 7, 8 meter one, but the scary part was that rocks protrude out.
You got to get past them.
And from the bottom, it doesn't really look like that, but when you step up and stand at the top, you're like, ooh. So I did it. I did it once, and then after I did it once, I was like, it's just enough for me. I'll just sit in the water and watch everyone else go. That was probably the highlight, that waterfall, and then into the last night, the Vietnamese. Right, they were the ones that would really G'ing up the drinking.
Vietnamese?
The riders, they loved it.
They loved it?
So they have this thing called Happy Water. It's rice wine. It's a 20-25%. And they just on the last night, they were just, as soon as dinner here, they just shots. Because the first couple nights we'd do 1 or 2 shots with dinner, and then whatever, you have a few beers, whatever. This night they were just nailing it. We'd finish one and they'd load it up again. And they do this little Vietnamese, their version of cheers, with a little chant, whatever. And before you know it, we'd had 5 of them. So, but that was
happy
them.
Water.
That was them. They were the ones.
That was the happy water hangover.
Honestly, it was fine. I actually didn't get that hungover at all either days. I've learned how to have fun and not.
Don't go over the top.
Well, but drinking beers I find is always fine. It's when you start cocktails, sculling drinks, shots is when that all catches up on you. And also the last hour before bed, I usually taper off anyway.
Have some water.
And then I wake up.
Have some sad water.
But we weren't going to bed late. We're getting sleep. The latest we went to bed was 12:30.
So you weren't I thought you were camping. You're in hostels.
It was a hostel with a pool. Each one had a pool, which was nice. So
nice.
You finished the day off with a swim. It was always really.
And
really
what
nice.
you just ride in these mountains single file, just everyone just following.
Yeah, there's a captain and just fucking.
Did anybody ride themselves? No one did.
Everyone easy ride. Everyone I spoke to said do the easy ride because you can't take in the scenery otherwise.
True, makes sense. Just
and also honestly, riding for that long for foot would be exhausting. By the end of the 4th day, just sitting on the bike, you start to get a bit this is it's been a good stint, but my ass is ready for a break. But riding would be I reckon it'd be tiring.
Yeah,
because you're switched on.
Yeah, you got to pay full attention.
What about easy ride? Are there different paths you can take? Or is it just
no? The easy ride is so when you book it, you can. Are you going to drive or an easy ride is when you just sit on the back? Yep. That's what they call it, an easy ride, or easy ride or whatever it is. But the drivers they do the loop and then they fucking go back.
Just go again. Yeah,
go again.
That's their job.
Apparently they get 2 days off a month or something.
Wow.
Fuck.
So. Yeah, that was a highlight. The cities are good, but cities are cities. like you'd spend a couple of days there. You get the feel for it. You do a couple of touristy spots, and then we really liked Hoi An, which was like beautiful.
Yeah.
With all the lanterns, and that's where you get the clothes and shoes made. There's just tailors everywhere. It's known for tailoring.
I saw you getting measured up. Did you buy something? Did you?
I got a couple pairs of pants and 4 shirts made, and I got 3 pairs of shoes made.
Crazy.
I got the Birkenstock. Well, not Birkenstocks. They're not Birkenstocks. They're their version, but they were like $48 for the sandals and the clogs. Whereas like clogs here, if you go Birkenstock clogs, they're $280. And they're made
Fuck
to your,
Birkenstock clogs.
you know,
Clogs are when
Birkenstock sandals.
they're covered.
Oh,
as
they're
opposed
like
to
the
being
felt. They're like
yeah, like
the
you know,
clothes.
Crocs are clogs, so they're like the felt ones of those.
Yeah.
They're $280
Closed
here.
Yeah.
So they were made 40 and made to your foot. They stencil your foot, so it fits your foot perfectly. And I got some penny loafers made, and I put the shoe on, and I was like to do so. I feel like Cinderella because the foot, literally, I've never put a shoe on before. It just literally hugs your foot
Just a soft
because it's
hug.
made to. She made it to your foot.
That's crazy.
And they were only $100 as well. Whereas like a pair of those, they're like $300-400.
Are they leather?
Leather. Yeah.
Wow, black leather.
Yeah, brown. Like a
Brown.
dark brown.
Fucking nice.
You could
Chestnut.
get any shoe made there.
That's mad.
Like if you wanted RM William
boots.
yeah, they'd make probably $100. Like I don't know, they every shoe, but yeah, in that price range. So what RMs or even they had Doc Martens, and you can like mix and match. Like people had like Doc Marten bottoms with like made on a clog, and like you could literally do anything.
Customized, fully customized.
So that was a fun process. So we did that, and then that was where we went to the Anthony Bourdain banh mi. So it was 2 like main banh mi joints in Hoi An, which were very similar. Deuce liked Queen banh mi better. I liked the Anthony Bourdain one better, just slightly.
What's the Anthony Bourdain?
Yeah, why
one
is it
called?
Anthony Bourdain? Or he's just like
he went there and he
gave it the
thumbs up, and they've got his photo up there, and
Yeah.
I can't actually remember the name. I just know it was the Anthony Bourdain one.
one.
The other one was the Queen banh mi. It was called Queen banh mi. And then Vietnamese coffee. I started to really like get into it. The coconut coffee
Yep.
is very nice.
All iced.
Yeah, it's kind of like a coconut frappe thing, and then they pour the double espresso over. It's fucking nice.
Yep. They make it around the corner here
Yeah.
at the little barn.
Do they?
Yeah.
Coconut coffee.
Yeah.
Fuck, I need to go there.
Vietnamese
'cause
coffee.
it
We'll have to
was-
go.
I think it's just
Saturday.
called Vietnamese coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, there was different because they got Vietnamese iced coffee, which is the condensed milk.
Oh,
but then
maybe that's what I'm thinking
There's
of.
coconut coffee, there's salt coffee, there's egg coffee. I didn't try the egg coffee. Yeah, I didn't try it. I liked the salt coffee. It's like they put a bit of salt in it. It makes it like, it's almost like a salted caramel, that kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
It's a condensed milk. Yeah.
Yeah, with the sweetness of the condensed milk.
Yeah. My old man just eats, used to. Like, going back, I remember this as like an 8-year-old, but Dad would just eat condensed milk. Apparently, it was like a delicate, it was like a dessert from Trinidad.
Fuel the cycle.
You just eat it from the can, condensed milk.
Fuck, that's crazy. It's very
And
sweet.
apparently, if you boil a can of condensed milk, it turns into like a caramel butter.
News to me. There you go.
Does
You
it?
just put the can in a boiling water and have it in
whole
there for
can?
for like 30 minutes and take it out, and it's like a full on like caramelized like butter type consistency.
That was
Try
like
that.
when we did that cooking lesson, that cooking pasta. Like I didn't realize how easy ricotta is to make.
Ricotta's like it's like a cheese.
It's
like,
cheese, but it's just milk
yeah.
that they add to like just boiling water with some lemon.
That's
and then
all
it
it is.
curdles, and
And it
that's it.
curdles
And then
and
you
you pull the
strain it
curdle
out.
out.
It's
Oh, wow.
literally, I couldn't believe how easy it was.
Wow.
But then it makes sense because like all these like village style foods that come from these countries are all made with like very simple ingredients.
Simple, 1 or 2 ingredients.
Yeah, like
cooked slightly
some
different.
of the dishes that my yaya makes are all like very, very simple. It's like 1, 2, 3 ingredients, and that's what they ate because they obviously came. Same with the cheese, like you need to leave the cheeses, and it's all simple.
Simple
Same
flavours
with
done well.
some of the stuff in it that we ate in Vietnam too. Like I feel like every country has like a rice custard thing. We ate like a banana custard thing. That was nice. Deuce doesn't like bananas, so I ate hers.
How'd Deuce go? She was nervous before the trip.
She was good. She's good. She loved it in the end. She cried. She didn't want to come home. So she loved it in the end. I was a bit worried at the start. Took her a few days to warm up. Did take her a few days. And Ho Chi Minh was a bit chaotic. You get there and it's there's a lot going on, a lot of noises, and the infrastructure's a bit, and they're cooking on the side of the street.
There's
and
no road rules.
Yeah, scooters everywhere.
There's
and
no parking rules.
Trying to cross the road, you just have to walk out. There's no so we did end up catching up with the first day we got there. We caught up with Francis. that Delhi coaches.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because he's obviously Vietnamese heritage. His parents are from there. So he actually was in Ho Chi Minh for the last 4 or 5 days because he had to go to China for work. He's a teacher, and then he came through Vietnam just to visit his cousin who lives there. But his cousin was actually German-born. Same thing, Vietnamese heritage, like Vietnamese parents, but migrated to Germany instead of Australia. So he spoke German, Vietnamese, and English.
Holy moly!
But
what a combo.
Yeah, it was cool. But he's lived in Saigon or Ho Chi Minh for the last year. Yeah, it was nice to have him. I think that helped Deuce with having a couple friendly faces and people that were local. So that was nice. Saw them, and then it started to ease her in. But it took her 3-4 days to really
settle.
Settle.
That's fair.
She was a bit apprehensive with the food at the start. Even I was a little bit too. Like, you build that trust.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as bad as Bali. From what I've heard, Bali is a lot worse for the sickness.
All I know is that every second person that goes to Bali gets Bali belly. So
yeah, whereas
that's all the stats.
I think it's more than 1 out of 2.
Whereas all the people we came across,
I haven't even fucking been there. That's just anecdotally, everyone gets it.
All the people we came across in Vietnam, there was one group of Irish girls that said they got food poisoned from one specific place, but it was like a 12-hour thing. But they said that it was a really dodgy place. And that they were sort of they were short for choices that night, and they kind of just went there. But they're like, regret.
Wrong choice.
They left a bad Google review, said stay away, poisoned us. But most people we spoke to were pretty good. Again, if you follow the general
recommendations,
guidelines, drink bottled water, all that shit. But we got her there in the end.
So you recommend the bike trip to anyone listening?
I would. Yeah, I would. I told Sam Goldsmith, you got to, because he said he wanted to go back to do it. I was like, you got to go back and do it.
Yeah.
It was good. We ended up extending. We were only meant to do the short version, the 2-night, 3 days. And then on the second night, I really wanted to extend. And one of the guys there, Ed, British guy, could talk. Had the convincing lawyer. He convinced Deuce. He got her across. And he's
so what, you did an extra night?
We stayed the full length.
Yeah. Bad.
Yeah, because he was like, you're going to go to Hanoi. He goes, you can always go back to Hanoi. You're never going to be back here with these people in this environment.
True.
Which is true.
Bad.
He's like, you're going to be in Hanoi and just be fucking wishing you were here. And then, I don't know, he somehow convinced her. I was on board. I was the one that was actually saying, I want to extend.
Salesman. He'd be closing.
He did it. ABC.
It was more just from a time standpoint.
Did he get his commission?
Yeah, he got his commission.
Yeah.
So it was more so a time, just because we got back in Sunday at midnight, and then our flight was at 5 p.m. the next day. So it was just, she was concerned about being rushed, but
it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Fucking
like you said, you're never going to be back there again. Things
out.
only happen once. Because you can go back and do the loop again, but the reality is you're going to be with different people, and the reality is you probably, there's other things I want to do now before I go back and repeat something. And most of the time you don't end up going back and repeating things.
Yeah.
Because,
there's only so many holidays.
Exactly. And you can, there's other countries you want to go, there's other experiences you want to do. So, yeah, it was a good choice in the end.
Yeah.
But that was...
That's the recap.
That was the recap.
Mate.
The cities are crazy. They're very fucking...
I went years ago.
They're full on.
That'd be completely
There's
different.
a lot going on. There's just a lot of... Sam Goldsmith actually said the same thing when he flew in. He didn't love Ho Chi Minh straight away because of that. It's
too full on.
It's crazy, yeah. So it's a bit of a culture shock. And then you sort of ease in, and then you go to some of the quieter places, and you gradually,
Find your feet.
You find your feet.
Yeah.
It is. When I lived in Nanjing for school...
Is that China? No.
Yeah, China.
China. Yeah.
More James George
Law.
Actually, before that, because you weren't here last week, did you know James George has played soccer internationally?
For who?
Well, I never played for anyone. I represented Victoria, Australia, Victoria.
Okay, an academy.
Academy.
And
we played against West Ham. We played against Liverpool. We played against Rangers. Who else did we play against?
Somewhere in Italy.
What age?
We played against Kiev Verona, yeah. I think the first time we went over to the UK I was 15, 16.
Mm.
Nanjing was around about the same time, or China was around about the same time, Beijing. And then Italy when I was 18.
So is Nanjing and Beijing, are they close to each other?
So Nanjing, Nanjing and Beijing I think they're decently close. It's still within China. It's still very big.
Yeah.
China is a big land.
So you went to both of them at the same time, Beijing and Nanjing.
Beijing, Nanjing, Shanghai I've been to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And Hong Kong.
Culture shock.
Yeah, it was, but we always grew up on a lot of Asian culture at home. Dad loves his martial arts movies: Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Michelle Yeoh, all that like movies. Yeah, we were already in the thick of it. So going there, I was like, oh, this is mad, like cool culture, like all that sort of stuff. But going back to that, when I first arrived in Nanjing, they had all those like shops on the side that like cook up the food and stuff. There was a woman washing a skinned chicken in the water runoff in the gutter.
Oh my god!
Oh god!
Yeah, and then hanging them up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, nah, this is not good."
world.
This is it was a lot. It was a lot.
Well, actually, one of the coolest things we did, which I didn't mention, was in Ho Chi Minh City, we did a food tour. So they come pick you up. They're like uni students, and they're all female drivers. And you go for like 3.5 hours, whatever, around Ho Chi Minh. They take you to, it was 7 different tastings, so different spots with soup first, then here, then there. But part of it was they took us to District 10, which is like where like it's very local. So it's all locals live there. So the restaurants are all locals. And she walked us through the apartment buildings and how they live. It's like families of 5, 6 people live in literally like a living room, tiny kitchen, and 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
It's like it's tiny. And even her, she was saying she's a uni student. She lives in a 1-room place with 4 people. They share a room. So just like
Not family.
No, just other students.
Like literally a share room.
Yeah,
a share room with
out.
a bathroom, and then not even sure. Yeah, the kitchen thing. How I can't remember specifically. It wasn't even a proper kit. They used like a trans. Yeah, very like.
Oh wow!
Just makes you see how like because 14 million people living in one spot, but just how like little they live off.
Yeah,
over there. Crazy.
Wild.
And actually, one place they took us to on that tour, which was cool, was with the burning Buddha, the burning monk. So you know, Rage Against the Machine. They used it on the cover. 1963. So that was really cool. They got a massive statue there, literally the intersection where he lit himself on fire and his ashes. That was a cool place because you're like, fuck, there's a lot of history.
I've got goosebumps now. You just saying that.
I was kind of obsessed for the next 2 days. I just kept reading about it.
Yeah,
the burning monk, and then obviously he's on the Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah,
immortalized.
Immortalized.
I'll have to look that up. I don't know much about the burning.
So, long story short, there was in protest, a Buddhist monk set himself on fire in the middle of the street. He literally killed himself. And the Rage Against the Machine took that picture and put it on the cover of their first album. So yeah, because they're very like anti-establishment. Their lyrics. So it's a wild story. Yeah,
crazy story. It's a very famous photo. There was one American journalist there that took the photo.
And you went there.
Yeah, they took us there. I've heard of that story before, and I knew it was on the album cover. I didn't know it happened in Ho Chi Minh until they took us there, and it was
it's crazy.
It was cool. And then another really confronting thing was when we did the War Museum in Ho Chi Minh was the Agent Orange section.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking.
Did you go in the tunnels?
No, we didn't go to the tunnels because we had 2 full days there, and one of the days was our anniversary, and
so it was a lot of the war related or stuff in Ho Chi Minh.
The War Museum's in Ho Chi Minh City. Yep. The tunnels is like a drive out.
Tour.
So we didn't end up doing the tunnels. I was like,
next time.
Or we just wanted to spend that day just walking around the city, enjoying the city,
just sussing.
Yeah, well, I was like, we just did shit around the city.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Like actually enjoy being in the city rather than because it's like you go to one of those. It's like when we did fucking was it Stonehenge? You go, it's a whole day thing. It's an hour drive out there. You spend 3-4 hours.
Just 100 meters off the fucking highway on a random hill.
But it ends up being a 6-hour thing, and you miss. Yeah, so
listen to the fucking audio book.
So didn't do the tunnels.
That's right. Next time. Sounds like a good trip.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Vietnam.
very good.
Nice.
I got deuce on Southeast Asia.
Fucking oath.
I don't know if I'd go back to Bali now. I'm like,
I think Bali's run its course personally.
Yeah. I think after seeing that, like I definitely want to check out Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, but I loved the bit more authenticity, like how authentic Vietnam was. Whereas like Bali just feels like it's really catered to a tourism.
It's an extension of the Gold Coast.
Yeah, with all the beach clubs, like Finns, Mississippi, fucking yeah. So now that I've gone there, I don't know if I would.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair,
completely fair.
Yeah, when we did 2018, that was a while ago.
2018, 7 years ago. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What were you doing 7 years ago, JG?
I graduated
Yeah.
Year 12?
2018
2018.
Fucking oath.
school.
Living the life.
I was in Italy, yeah. The following year. Yeah.
Nice.
Which city?
Verona.
I don't know.
How long
City of Love.
were you in there for holiday, or were you?
No, I was playing soccer.
How
He's
long
an
were you there
international
for?
soccer star, man.
I wish.
How long were you there for?
About almost 3 months, 2 months,
Nice.
2 and a bit months. Yeah.
Nice.
Just getting pantsed.
Getting pants, yeah, they were good. But it was the City of Love. I got to see Juliet's balcony,
Ooh.
Juliet's statues there, and in true tourism fashion, everyone has to go and
Touch
rub
something,
her,
yeah. Her
yeah.
foot or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. There's actually a photo that one of the guys took of me doing it, and in true Apple fashion, uploads to iCloud. Parents were looking at iCloud, that sort of thing. Oh, James, look at this. You're grabbing this. You're grabbing this statue rather intensely.
Just straight to the family
Yeah,
iCloud.
Fuck, did that happen?
Yeah.
Bugger.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. Good city.
Verona.
Good city.
Yeah, travel's mad. I think we had let's just rip this quickly because
Borzillo
had
had another
where's
one,
your
yeah.
next travel? So
Yeah.
where's your next travel, Charles?
We want to go Sri Lanka.
Sri
I
Lanka.
wanna go Sri Lanka.
Oof.
I wanted to go. I
There's
think
some mad beaches in Sri
Yeah.
Lanka. Yeah.
it's just safaris, beaches, city. It just looks very cool. And everyone we spoke to overseas that had been to Sri Lanka really talked about it highly. So yeah, I was about 6 months ago. I really wanted to do it, and Deuce was still. I think now that she's seen how amazing Vietnam was, and she's
Got out of Greece.
She's on board.
Open their eyes up to the rest of the world.
She's on board. I've got her on board. So we're on, Sri Lanka will probably be the next. I don't know when, but that's I think
That's on the list.
the next new country. I still want to do New Zealand. It's so close, and everyone asks you overseas, "Oh, you've been to New Zealand?" Like, nah, it's like the one.
Yeah,
right across.
all these
It's like 40 minutes away.
all these
Yeah.
people from overseas who come to Australia and they're like Seb, who's from Denmark. He's here for a couple of years. A few months ago, he was going to New Zealand. I'm like, oh yeah, mate. He's like, have you been? It's like, nah. Like the amount of Australians you haven't been there. This comes from Denmark and he's popping over. It's like, why don't we just go? Like, why don't we do it? Like,
I think because it is so close.
because it's so close. Like, I'll go there one day.
It's the classic.
Yeah, yeah.
James George, where do you want to
Where
go?
would I go? I for a long time, Egypt has been on my list.
Yep.
I would like to go see the pyramids. I would like to ride a camel if you can in the desert.
I reckon you can.
Maybe like a quad
I reckon
bike
we could set that
situation.
up,
Yeah.
You can do that in the UAE as well.
I did it in Broome.
Yeah.
You can also
actually,
do it
with
up
Mum.
north. Yeah.
Yeah. That was good fun.
Because I did it in the UAE or Dubai.
Oh, cool.
Have you been
yeah.
to Dubai?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Greatest
on the
stuff
way
I've ever
home
done.
from 2013, we spent 5 nights. Stayed at the Atlantis. It was crazy. Crazy hotel.
I spent 3 nights there in the middle of Ramadan. There was nothing going
Nothing.
on.
Everything was closed.
Nothing going on. Couldn't eat.
So we had a Wet and Wild at the fucking hotel and an aquarium that you could snorkel in. So we did all the activities at the hotel. There was sports bars, there was shops. It was like you didn't have to leave the hotel.
That's crazy. Dids?
That's nice.
Europe.
Europe.
Europe will be the next one, I reckon.
Where specifically? Give us 3 countries.
Italy, Greece. The third one is
Scotland.
Scotland's up. Scotland's up there.
Scotland.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to pick because you've got to narrow it down, and there's only so much time. But there's genuinely so many places I'd love to go. But after seeing some just architecture of more of Eastern Europe, like Hungary and stuff, or maybe Central Eastern, depending on
Prague.
those type of places, just looks like
Vienna's
really,
nice.
really beautiful cities. By the look
You
of
would
it.
like Vienna, I reckon.
Fucking oath.
Best schnitzel I've eaten.
Yeah,
in Vienna,
schnitzel.
mate.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, I went to Salzburg in Austria.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
There's
Crazy.
fucking huge schnitzels with a lemon
ones.
wedge on it.
But
Oh,
the
yum.
infrastructure's beautiful, the buildings and shit. My next European country that we really want to go is Portugal. I haven't done Portugal.
Portugal's mad.
Never been to Portugal.
Yeah, Victoria wants to go to Germany, Austria, those type of areas because she loves Christmas, and they have like the best Christmas markets in the world. They're just
Mm.
on another level. So yeah, that'd be mad.
Christmas markets.
Just
Nice.
like fucking the works.
Very nice.
And Morocco.
Nightlife.
Morocco would be up there
Not
for
that
me.
that's Europe, but it's
Egypt.
Africa, but it's
Yeah.
right below
Mediterranean.
It's right below Portugal,
Yeah.
so you can just fly there from Portugal.
Yeah. I think Egypt.
Yeah,
Egypt will be.
Egypt.
Yeah.
From Cass's experience when he went, he apparently to see the pyramids is best to go out of the like March, April,
Oh, absolutely.
because they went Euro summer and it's like fucked
It'd
hot.
be, yeah.
Because you want to look at shit, but it's too hot. You're like just dying of heat.
And
It's
there'd
like
just be
38
people
degrees.
everywhere.
So apparently, like Feb, March is a really good time to go, and then like obviously October, November.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit more like 28 degrees.
Yeah.
You can actually look.
Makes sense.
Or you just miss the beast and just rent it out for 100 hours.
I don't know how the hell that was fucking.
Just rent it out for
Money talks.
But he was like
100 hours.
inside the basements
Mate.
of them and shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Apparently
here?
there was
Holy
one room that
shit.
they were the first people to go
Ever
to.
film in
Yeah, or
something.
some shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does he get there? That was a cool video.
It's nuts.
Yeah. I don't know. The social media in general and influencers are just
Different world.
yeah.
Mr. Beast. Where's your next country?
I would
Something new.
love to go to Egypt. Egypt is
Oh, you just
probably
said
the
Egypt,
top of my
yeah.
list. I just don't know when it's going to happen because
Yeah.
Laura doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how. So the Sri Lanka thing was, when she wasn't on board, I was like, I'm gonna go by myself.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go by myself, or I'm gonna say like, if Paul, I know Paul Fricky would go with me. I'm like, I'll go with, but I've got her on board now. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I feel like it's hard when
So-
someone doesn't want to go.
Yeah. The stars would have to align for me to do that at any point. Probably in the next 20 years, I reckon. But I'll get there eventually.
Go on your own.
I have a feeling the pyramids will still be there.
I reckon they will be.
Yeah.
They've only been there for 12,000 years.
Yeah, 12,800 years. That's when I'm going back. 12,800 years ago.
Done.
Chuck on the Prince of Egypt. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in the mood.
In a virtual reality.
Yeah,
and just, touch the
Have you
walls.
watched
Yeah.
the movie Apocalypto?
No, I haven't.
That's a fucking good one. That was I got that by fluke. One night we were down. Mum and Dad had rented a house in Bry, and we were there. This was like 6, 7, 8 years ago, and it was just on free to air. And started watching it, and it's a Mel Gibson one. It's fucking unbelievable.
Apocalypto.
Apocalypto. He actually
Oh, is
spoke
that
about it
the
on
one
the
in,
on the
yeah,
podcast
I
we
think it's
listened to.
2005. It's about
2006, yeah.
Central America.
Yep.
I've seen some clips of that. It looks
Separated
nuts.
from his family, and it's
And apparently it's
basically
like really like authentic. Like he actually
Yeah.
used the indigenous people of the area and stuff.
And he wanted to make it a foot hunt. So the main character's getting hunted. Yeah. That's the whole movie. So he wanted to make, and then it's a really good movie.
Okay.
Another movie. Sorry, I finally watched. It was my homework from Joel Mazurek.
Oh, he told me. Finally, mate.
Finally
was
watched it. Whiplash. You would love it.
Whiplash.
You would love it.
Fucking
It's about a jazz drummer.
jazz drummer.
Oh, I've
That's
heard
right.
about this one. Yeah.
Big, intense vibes, like
it's,
the
it's
bear.
it's
Oh, really?
Kind of like
anxiety.
A lot of anxiety.
yeah. So it's filmed like that, and it keeps you on the edge of your set. Because I was like, I don't quite understand. Like it's about fucking drumming or music. I was like, how's it going to be? But it keeps you like on edge. Like what's going to happen? What's happening next? And then
It's about ambition
ambition and drive.
and drive.
Whiplash. All right,
You gotta
I might
want
watch
it
that.
bad.
What you watching on?
It's also on Netflix. That one.
Perfect. I think I'm going to watch that this
Whiplash.
weekend.
It's with what's his name? That was the big news reporter, head chief guy in Spider-Man, in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Yeah, 'cause- yeah.
Oh,
Another one you're talking
I know
about,
the guy.
yeah.
There's a meme about it.
Peter That guy. It's that guy. He plays his character is intense.
So intense. Yeah.
Very intense, his character. I left my first IMDb review.
Was it a 7 or above?
I gave it a 10.
Oh,
10 for
man.
that movie.
Whiplash.
Yeah, I gave it a
For
10.
that movie, 10.
I struggled to write that. I realized fucking right now that
Now that I've hammered ChatGPT,
now that I've read so many reviews that people that write, I'm like,
oh,
it's
you're a bit
actually,
self-conscious.
How do you write a good one?
yeah, no, I was actually like, how do you put what you've just written into words? And so it was a very short one, but
I loved this.
now that you know the ones that people read that are like paragraphs, I'm like, fuck these people.
There's something to it.
They're
There's something
quite
to it.
articulate. I would suck at writing. Mine would just be like, yeah, great movie. Cool
This was
twist.
mad.
Cool
Mad.
twist. Yeah.
Yeah, mine was like fucking 3 sentences.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to start doing
But you contributed.
contributed.
Yeah.
Contributed.
Nice. Whiplash. All right. We'll
Whiplash.
fucking add
Watch
it to the
it.
list. Very good. We had one other question that popped up related to training. So we'll rip this for the next 15 or so minutes. I think it was from Elise in the gym here,
Yes.
asking about some different RPE prescriptions. And she specifically asked for ramping or
Benefits of
ascending RPEs. So I'm assuming this is within a session, so within an exposure. So you might hit like a RPE 6, RPE 7, RPE 8, RPE 9, something like that. Are we in agreement that's what ascending RPEs are, boys?
That's what I.
Yes,
Yeah,
as
pretty
always,
nice.
we must define our terms
We have to
before
define it.
before we
Because
go
some
any
people
further.
think that
No, you need to.
RPE
It's important.
ascension
Yeah.
is
It's important.
week 1, week 2,
Yeah,
week 3,
for
week
sure.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, within the session.
That's what that's what we're working off here.
Yeah.
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 And what was the question? What are the benefits of it?
Benefits of
Benefits.
ascending RPE sets.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest ones is that you actually allow the current set to dictate the next set. Because if your set, I call it ramping RPEs, but if your RPEs are ramping within the exposure, it's pretty much guaranteed that we have to be adjusting the weight in order to achieve the RPE target. So if your first set is an RPE 6, you're using that information. What's the quote, Charlie? Current performance?
A logical extrapolation.
No, that's a different.
I know what it's going to take.
Current performance
Is the best indicator of current performance. Yeah. So your performance in set 1 at the RPE 6 literally dictates what your next selection should be at RPE 7. So I'm a big fan of ramping RPEs, especially in the learning phases of the skill development of understanding RPE selections.
100%. Yeah, I was just about to say that absolutely. Like, I personally think it's awesome for just gaining context around like proximity to failure.
Yep.
With someone that's maybe a little bit more apprehensive towards loading something on there, and they're like, oh, I don't know how it's going to feel, such and such and such. It kind of like warms them up to their quote unquote hardest set. But all sets are going to end up being stimulative enough anyway. So I think they're awesome for that as well.
Good
just
example,
for beginners.
For sure. Good example of the application of it. Last night I had a new member in, Abel. He just started up at the gym.
Shouts out.
He'd never used RPE before, and he hit his first, what would be his first working set. And then, as we always do, we get people to rate their sets as soon as the set's done. So he racks the bar on squats. I said, awesome, man. What RPE do you reckon that was? How many reps in the tank? And he's like, I'm just thinking. I'm like, no, straight away. He's like, oh, yeah, I was just like thinking in relation to other sets. I'm like, no. Just right now, today, how many more reps could you do? Oh, okay. It's like probably like 4 or 5. I'm like, perfect. Because people start to think, oh, on a good day, I could do this. But that's not the point. The point is today,
Performance.
How many reps could you do? And obviously that's going to vary day to day, but the fact that it's ramping allows you to have that first set as almost the indicator set. If 100 is usually an RPE 6 and today it was easier, perfect. We're probably on today. We can make some bigger jumps. But if it felt a bit harder and it was already an RPE 7, maybe we just repeat that for set 2 and then go up from there. So it just allows you to be a little bit more precise when picking your loads.
Yep. I think it's huge in the learning phase. I want to double down on something James said, which is by nature, when people ascend RPEs or ramp them up, generally it does push the heavier work towards the later sets, which can be challenging because you do accumulate fatigue, especially if you're hitting hard sets in the lead up for that. If you're doing 3 or 4 or even 5 sets of a ramp, you're accumulating fatigue throughout that. So that is also a benefit, but it could also be a limiter for certain people. So the benefit obviously is that you're learning to execute at heavier loads under high fatigue and actually still execute on your skill and your effort and your intent, which is fantastic. And most people need to learn that. But also it could be a hindrance for a lot of people as well if they feel like they're at a plateau, they feel like they can't get past a certain number, or they're being unhappy for a period of time. I wouldn't do it after 1 or 2 weeks, but like maybe like 2 or 3 blocks of running some ascending RPE ramps. Being able to flip that on its head and actually go to more like something like a top set where you don't have the acute fatigue accumulated. Obviously, you lose the benefit of ramping in and using those indicator sets to where the heaviest loads are going to be. However, flipping it to a top set and then a drop down, so a reverse of what we've just chatted about, obviously lets you execute your heaviest load without fatigue.
When you're fresher.
With the most intent and all of that. So it's not something that you can use all the time and just expect that nothing's linear, nothing works forever. But yeah, there are a couple of considerations.
And I think the key point there is it can be better for people who are maybe newer to lifting or newer to using RPE, because you might not have the skill of knowing what XYZ load selection should be. And it can also be useful if you're just returning to a certain rep range or exercise after a break. You might have done heavy weights before, but if you haven't done a set of 3 at RPE 8 for a while, you might not have a good gauge of what that number is going to be. But if you've done 2 to 3 blocks of hard training, you pretty much know where you're at. You can be prescribed a triple at 8 and you're probably going to pick a number that's going to be suitable. Whereas if you don't have that context, the ramping up obviously just it kind of idiot proofs it a little bit.
Yeah, big ramps.
On the idiot proofing, I think
proof it.
Yeah, give me some proof.
I think it helps, in a way, provide the context for someone to select the correct loads that are going to be good enough for the session, but also for someone that sees their name in the headlines constantly in the gym, it helps bring them back a little bit. Even though you know that
the name in the headlines, I'm confused.
like shooting for a new PR.
Oh, they're always going
like
for it.
this is the number I want to hit for this session. All right, yeah, cool. That's the number you want to hit for this session. But what about your 6, 7, 8 that you hit last session, or even just your current performance, like how that's going? What is good enough for that session? So I think it's been useful I think it's useful for people that want to push it a bit more, but it just, at least from a coaching perspective, it puts a little bit more reins on that.
Because they can't just go into the first set and overdo it. Because it's an RPE 6. They have to really try hard to super overdo that.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a big overshoot. Turning a 6 into a 10.
Look, maybe not a 10, but it happens. It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
No, I'm a big fan of ramping RPEs.
Mate.
The other thing that can be helpful for people is not only just ramping like individual numbers, so like a 6, 7, 8 or something like that, but ramping ranges. So like your first one might be like 6 to 7, your second one might be like a 7 to an 8.5, and then your third one might be a 9 or a 10. Quite often I do that with like body weight movements. So for people that maybe like accumulating push-up reps or chin-up reps or pull-up reps and all of those sort of things, like ramping those sets, because obviously they're going to be body weight. So the rep range isn't really selected. It's just kind of execute where you're at. But it doesn't always have to be a set number as well. And that's the beautiful thing with RPE. If you've never been exposed to it, it can sound like there's no rules to any of this stuff. But once you get into it for a little bit and start using it, you'll start to see the overall structure is really just easier sets are like 6s and 7s, moderate sets are like 7s, 8s, and a little bit of a 9 depending on the exercise, and hard sets are 9s and 10s. Easy, medium, and hard. How you scale it, how you move around it. It's very simple once you get shown how to do it.
For sure.
And for coaches, I think it is the most effective way to program. Obviously, there's always caveats. There's always people that don't respond.
But generally speaking, it ends up being the best approach.
80% of the time, an RPE strategy I think is best suited for sure. Does anyone want to add anything else to the ramps?
One thing that you can add is that people getting too fixated on the numbers. And I remember Bryce Lewis used to talk about how would you train if you didn't know the numbers?
With the trash bags on the weights.
Yeah, what would your focus be on for the session? Because it's not on the numbers anymore. You don't know if you're squatting 190, 200, 220. You don't know what. So what would you actually focus on? And you'd go obviously to more like internal execution standpoint rather than
feeling, effort,
intense. All that stuff, rather than being fixated on a number, because as we know, like the numbers don't really matter long term. And when I say they don't matter, over time we want to obviously accumulate more volume, over a 6 month, 12-month period. Like they matter in that regards. They don't matter necessarily from set to set and week to week as much as what people think they do. So focusing more on execution, mindset, intensity, or how much intent you're putting into the bar is going to be more important than fixating over like a 2.5, 5 kilo increase or decrease.
And I think you could add 2.5 kilos to the bar, and like on paper that's a win. But if you didn't focus on all those other things, is there actually progress there? It's like maybe not. Maybe you could have had progress with taking weight off the bar or staying it the same way. Like it's just there's more to progress than adding weight to the bar. Yeah,
it's a big mental hurdle. Yeah, for a lot of people to overcome that.
Be less human, be more robotic.
Yeah. If only.
To a degree.
If only.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have other training or you got something
We've got one. So we've got a question, a bit of a sidestep, but from Tom Coulson. We need Jamie Smith's brain for this one. So I think Tom explained to me an experience he had that I've had, I think other people have had, and we don't have an answer for it. So you do a period of training, you're doing squat variations. Maybe it's a belt squat, a hack squat. You're going deep, you're pushing hard. You're doing good training. Then you come back to specifically the barbell back squat. You hit it, and your adductors are cooked for a week, and it's like you've never
your adductors.
It's like you've never squatted before. And that happened to me a few months ago. Brought back in and like I've happened many times. Bring back in the high bar squat. I've been doing my belt squats, going deep. Adductors ruined. Obviously, I'm fine now, but it took a couple of weeks to really get back to it. Same experience. Is there an explanation for that, or do you think it's just novelty of exposure?
Novelty will definitely be part of it.
To kind of explain that, obviously, there's always going to be DOMs associated with doing something you haven't done before. So if you normally do a barbell bench, if you go and do push-ups, you haven't done push-ups in a while, yeah, you might get sore. You're still working the same muscles, but novelty.
It's probably novelty is probably the best indicator for why things are sore. Or DOMS, the DOMS presentation, that sort of fatigue and muscle soreness that you feel after a training session. It's not the only time, but it is definitely like when people are like, fuck, I've never felt my glutes like this before, more than likely they're in a couple of weeks of a new movement or a new intensity or something like that. Couple of precursor things for the adductors, specifically adductor magnus. Adductor magnus in approximately 90 degrees and deeper of hip flexion. So for people listening at home, the midpoint of a squat, think of like a powerlifting squat, from there down, the adductors are the primary hip extensor. So people, when they think about hip extension, they think of the glutes, they think of the hamstrings, and they definitely are. It's just contextually dependent on the task, the movement you're doing, and how you're lifting it, which will bias different muscle groups to perform the primary movement or primary execution of hip extension. At deep hip ranges, it is the adductor magnus, especially in bilateral movements. So squatting is the obvious one. So why then why is the feeling in barbell squats that people feel their adductors more than in the machine-based movements? They're both squatting patterns. How the load is distributed though, like a pendulum squat is really not going to get anything within the hips. Like a pendulum squat is very heavily like knee extension, more than it is hip extension. Same with like a leg press. You can modify and change your biased positions to try to bias different muscle groups, but for the most part, it is significantly more of a knee extension than it is a hip extension. But the belt squat is probably the obvious one that it's pretty similar to what a squat would be. And all I would say is that I think how most people execute the belt squat when it's done correctly is a significantly more forward knee travel than like a traditional barbell squat would be. A barbell squat is generally going to have significantly a bit more hip displacement backwards. That hip moment arm increases a little bit, so you're going to load the hip musculature a little bit more. Compare that to like a front squat. So if you went to a front squat, it'd be interesting to see.
You probably wouldn't. That's what I was thinking. You probably wouldn't get the same amount of DOMs in a front squat.
Yeah.
I think it's the horizontal hip displacement.
Yeah.
The further back the hips go, and with all those hypertrophy variations we spoke
Everyone
about,
hammers knees.
we go more knees forward, and
And then if you think about a hack, I guess a hack squat would probably fall into that as well because it is so much, I guess.
Yeah, like
in the quads.
I get a little bit adductory in the hack squat, but it's nowhere near compared to a squat.
Yeah.
Or and then hypothetically, if you was to come across and do like a super upright, super heels elevated, close stance, barbell back squat, it probably would obviously feel different and load differently to a standard back squat that most of us do.
So I think the simple answer would be that the barbell squat, how most people execute it, is just more hip. Yep. Which means we're going to get more hip extension. And the demand for hip extension is going to be greater in those lower ranges, that mid-range, which is not all, but primarily adductor magnus.
Crazy. Tom Coulson, there you go.
Shouts out. Nice.
Magnus.
We'll wrap it up there. If you have any questions, though, for the podcast, please let us know. James George has been popping up little question boxes every Monday, so if you want to throw something in there, you can. Also, we have our links down below if you want to join the gym, sign up for coaching, one-on-ones, online, whatever it might be. We're here to help, so check those out if you are keen, or you can DM one of the coaches and we'll be more than happy to chat. But thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Ciao.